Hello everyone. So I'm going to try something experimental here. I seem to be in a sort of experimental phase with my channel recently with different shows and different ideas and such. So this is just one more of those. I am not going to make a video using clips from another video. I'm going to invite you, the audience, to go watch the video in question first, then come back here and listen to my rant. So it's a little bit of an interactive experience. Now, the link to the video in question is in the description below. Hopefully, it will stay there for posterity, so this little commentary of mine does not become obsolete. But all the same, what I want you to do now is pause this, go watch that video. It's only about 1.5 minutes long or 2 minutes or something. Then come back here, and you can listen to me critique it, or at least critique the theme of it. Okay? So, pause now. Okay, I am assuming that you are back having watched the other video. Let's talk about the definition of masculinity, all right? Now, the subjects of that video obviously have a problem with masculinity, or at least the definition of it as we understand it in general terms as a species in society, at least in America, let's say. Now, what is wrong with masculinity? Nothing. Nothing is inherently wrong with the concept of masculinity. The subjects of that video, however, do not feel they fit in with the masculine mold, and I think it is fairly obvious that they are going to great lengths to make sure everyone knows they do not fit in with the masculine mold. And that's fine. I don't care. But they really, really need the rest of us to care. Now, most people do not fall 100% into either the masculine or the feminine. You know, most of us, we run the gamut. Whether you're male or female, there's a lot of aspects of you that could be considered feminine, and/or there are lots of aspects of you that could be considered masculine, regardless of what your biological sex is. Some have more than others. You know, you've got the girl who likes wearing makeup and put on dresses, but also likes going to tractor pulls and chugging beers. And then you've got the guy who rides a motorcycle and maybe is a hunter or something, but he kinda likes musicals. You know, we're all a different combination of different things that, depending on how you look at it, could be considered masculine or feminine. Very, very few of us, in fact, I would hazard to say practically no one, checks all the boxes for masculinity or femininity. If you actually came across somebody who was 100% feminine or 100% masculine, they would probably be kind of creepy. It'd probably be a bit overwhelming. More likely than not, they would be a caricature rather than a real person. Imagine the film Pleasantville for a second, okay? A film that is taking place within a stereotypical 50s TV show. All of the women are stereotypically 50s TV females, and all of the men are stereotypically 50s TV males. And these are sort of the epitome of Americana insofar as femininity and masculinity. And they're weird. They don't make a whole lot of sense to regular people, because we are not all one thing or another. But our subjects are really, really determined to redefine masculinity, because the rest of the world is trying to tell them how to act and make them feel bad because they don't fit the mold. But they're not. Or I should say the world is not. Like most of us, we have all grown up and had our awkward times, where we're trying to find out who we are and where we fit in. And those times can be very difficult, depending on your circumstances. And trying to define your identity is not always easy. It really isn't. Because in a lot of cases, a lot of us have specific interactions, specific experiences with specific individuals or specific small groups of people, cliques, bullies, etc. And I'll get to bullies shortly. And these experiences help to shape our worldview, not only of ourself, but how the rest of the world may interact with ourself. And so we have a tendency to take these handful of interactions, these handful of experiences, and conjure them, magnify them into a notion of how the whole world is. Now, not fitting in? Everybody does not always fit in and everywhere. Now, everybody has their foibles. Everybody is different. Trying to force somebody else to let you in because you think that they are bad and that you are right? Let's think about this for a second. If I imagine, and I mean imagine, that an entire group of people don't want me around, let's say. Let's say there's a social club that I have never been to before, the members of which I have never met before, but I look at that social club and I say to myself, that represents everything that I am not allowed to do. So what do I do to get into this social club? Well, I'm going to kick down the door, tell everybody in that quote-unquote social club that they are wrong for victimizing me, that they are all villains, and that they need to change their entire setup because I am different from them, even though I've never met them, even though I've never bothered to actually find out if they would let me in the first place. I just imagined they wouldn't because I've imagined that they're all bad. Tell me now, who is the bully in that situation? The guys in that video, I don't care that they're different. I don't care that they want to try to change other people's minds. Go ahead. But it's the guilt shaming. It's the accusation. Without even having met me, they have told me that I hate them, that I don't want them around, that I am suppressing them and oppressing them, and simply by existing, simply by being who I am, without anybody telling me who I should be, that because I'm not like them, because they are not like me, very specifically not like me, that I need to change how I define myself so that they can feel more comfortable about themselves. And that ain't happening. I've got my own problems. I have my own life. I have my own discomforts when it comes to interacting with other people. I don't need to take on yours. And you're not going to redefine masculinity. You may, in fact, redefine yourselves and how you see yourselves in relation to masculinity, but you're not going to redefine it so that the rest of us can be feeling like we don't belong, like how we think and how we feel and the instincts that we have are somehow incorrect or are somehow harming you from a distance psychically through the mystic chords of memory because you don't fit in, because you don't like what we like. You know, it's kind of a strange reversal to take somebody who, by all rights, and I am sure that growing up, those guys had a lot of problems interacting with people. I'm sure they got picked on. I'm sure they got made fun of. I have no doubt. I will stipulate to all of it. I was too. Not for the same reasons probably as them. Well, except for the fact that I was a smaller kid and not as big and strong as the other guys. Maybe because I was more quiet and reserved than I was boisterous and arrogant like the other guys. In fact, you know, in a lot of ways, I suppose you could say I didn't come across as all that masculine when I was growing up. Because I was still growing up. I was still finding my feet, finding my own way of dealing with the world. Now, am I a 100% alpha male full of testosterone riding a motorcycle and chomping on some tobacco or something? No. We're all what we are. And no one is wrong inherently for being just a little bit different. But if you're going to start telling me and anyone else in the world that they are wrong because you are right. That because you don't feel comfortable amongst other people, that other people have to be comfortable with you, even if they are awful, awful men with their awful, awful masculinity. I hate to tell you this. You're the bully. You're the one trying to oppress and suppress others by telling them that they are wrong for liking what they like. So, that was my experiment. We'll see how this works out. As always, thank you for listening.